going to show you how to maintain and change the line on your new Instant Fisherman 2 fishing rod. Firstly, maintenance. Now I recommend you do this after use every single time, especially with saltwater fishing, because of the salt creep you can get inside the reel. So simply open up the rod by unscrewing the gold part there. Press in the line release button and you'll just be able to pull it out like that. Hold the rod in one hand, keeping the handle still, because that will rotate, is to undo this metal dome part here. Simply unscrew anti-clockwise. Put that to one side. Now using oil, any machine oil, 3-in-1 oil, just squeezing in and out the line release button, you'll notice the spindle going up and down there. Add a few drops of oil there and that will pull it down inside the reel there, oiling up the gears inside. Add a couple of drops to the line to protect the line, will aid your casting as well, and a drop to the screw thread there. Finally, a couple of drops on top of the washer of the drag there. That'll stop salt creep, seizing that up, give it a twist to bed it in and stop that rusting. Now replace the dome spool back on again by holding the handle. Just screw this back on, making sure that you don't cross thread it. So holding steady, just screw that back on clockwise, hand tight. Just add a couple of drops of oil to the outside of that as well, and that'll stop any corrosion on that part. Replace the rod back together, lining up the two lugs there with the holes in the reel, and simply screw back on the gold part. Now when folding the rod down, this is very important, wind the line right up or lure to the end eye. Fold your handle down, pull out a couple of inches of line from your lure or weight there and fold the handle down, making sure every single time that this end eye is completely retracted within itself. If that's left out like that and you fold the handle down, you're in danger of breaking that eye off. So every single time, make sure that's in. Changing the line, by far the easiest way to change the line without accessing the internal reel there is to place your rod on the table, press the line release button again and simply pull all your old line off, like so. Stopping occasionally when you think you've got near the end, just to undo. Press the casting button in and check how far you've got, how much line you pulled off. I recommend you leave at least 10 metres of line on there. This will act as backing line and stop any line slip on the reel when you put the new line on. When you pulled all your old line off, simply tie your new line to it using a double blood knot or similar, and wind all your new line back on. Again, checking occasionally inside there, just to see how far you've got and how much line you've got on there. Never overfill this spool, this is very, very important. If you overfill this spool, especially with cheap springy line, it can tend to get trapped underneath the dome spool part there. So leave at least a 2mm gap. And always use good quality line, such as Shimano Technium, Amnesia, Tri-Line's another one. Low diameter, low memory line. Replacing the rod back together. Now, if you have a spare line spool with your rod, and you just want to simply change the line spool with a different line diameter on it, the way to do that, again, undo the rod to access the internal. Undo the dome spool. You'll find a circlip there. You need to take that off. Take the old line spool off. Now be careful you don't drop these two washers underneath there because they need to go back on. Put your new line spool back on. Followed by the washer and the circlip again. Especially if you slacken the drag right off doing this, it makes it a bit easier. Now simply get the line off your new line spool and tie it to the line of your old line spool. Any knot will do here. The reason you're doing this is to save you rethreading the line through the rod. You can simply pull it back through by your old line. Pull that back through there and retie your weight or lure there. Finally, replace your dome spool again, making sure not to cross thread it. Hand tie it and reassemble, making sure the lugs are in the right place. And you're done. Thank you. Today I'm going to show you a couple of things about your new Instant Fisherman fishing rod, how to replace an end eye if you fracture it off, and how to change a handle over from left to right. Firstly though, when you buy an Instant Fisherman, always make sure it's got full metal hinges, top and bottom. If it hasn't got metal hinges, if it's got cheap plastic ones like this, it's probably a cheap copy. That's plastic, light as a feather and liable to break there under stress. This is a metal one, a genuine part, solid as a rock, very heavy, very solid. That's never going to give way under any circumstance. Okay, firstly, you've just been fishing with your Instant Fisherman fishing rod. You're in a hurry to get home. You fold your rod down and you forget to make sure the end part is completely within itself. You fold the handle down, and what happens is you fracture or you completely snap off the end eye. You won't realise this, of course, until next time you go fishing, when you pick up your rod and that's what's happened. So to repair this, quick and easy, you can either buy a new end eye and simply super glue it on. Use super glue because it's waterproof. Over there. Or you can use the existing eye, and what you need to do there is just drill out the old part of the rod there using the correct size drill bit that'll actually fit inside there, like so. Bit fiddly. You'll feel it give way when you get to the end of the rod. Just sand down the end of the old part of the rod there, take any rough edges off to a little bit of a point. Add a drop of super glue. To the end part there. Push the eye on. Wipe clean and just leave to dry. And that's done. Now, to change the handle over on the Fisherman rod, very, very simple. Just unscrew the screw on the opposite side. Pull out the screw. Pull off the handle. This can be quite stiff at times. So if you swap it over, bearing in mind this is hexagon shaped and has to fit on correctly, it's not round. So make sure it slides on properly all the way down. Screw back in. Nice and tight, but not over tight and has to kill the thread. And there you go. Thank you.